Morning, everybody. Ready to rock?
Boom. You need to full screen that.
The City of Boston is declaring a snow emergency beginning tonight at 9 p.m.
The storm's expected to move into our region late tonight and continue to impact Massachusetts throughout Saturday and Saturday night. The rate of snowfall is expected to pick up significantly around 9 or 10 tomorrow morning.
Now we get into the real meat of this storm from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. where the snow can come down at the rate of 2 to 4 inches per hour.
2 to 4 inches an hour is basically whiteout conditions.
Here in Boston, there is a snow emergency that is in place, and that means there are parking restrictions that are also in place.
Look at the temperature at noontime tomorrow. It is dropping as that wind shifts to the north and strengthens. It pulls down the colder air. So these are going to be bands of really heavy snow, but it goes on here. Bands of snow, damaging winds through the afternoon, and this here, 9 o'clock in the evening, we're still getting it.
Because of the wind, it will be extremely hard to see anything at various points in time along the way.
And heavy wind gusts of more than 40 miles per hour, making challenging travel conditions throughout the day where it will not be possible to see the road ahead.
This is going to be a very big storm.
Many peculiar irregularities have come to light in the Massachusetts State Police investigation into Karen Reed. Upon closer examination, certain details presented to us confront our common sense and elude all logical explanation. We will present the facts to you as we understand them and let you decide for yourselves.
This is the best part.
After finding missing Boston police officer John O'Keefe's body laying nearly lifeless on the front lawn of 34 Fairview Road, a 911 call was placed by Jennifer McCabe at 6:04 a.m. Moments later, Canton Police, fire and ambulance services arrived on scene to render aid to John O'Keefe. He was then transported to Good Samaritan Medical Center where he would later be pronounced dead. Once John O'Keefe left in the ambulance, responding veteran Canton police officers Lieutenant Paul Gallagher, Detective Sergeant Michael Lack, and Sergeant Sean Good began their investigation by searching for evidence. It was nearly sunrise, and the sky was getting brighter by the minute. The low wind, minimal snowfall, and early morning sunlight provided the best conditions for a police search that would be possible for the next 24 hours. Since it had only been snowing lightly up until this point, and would not start snowing heavily for another 3.5 hours, Lieutenant Gallagher was able to clear about 2 inches of accumulated snow from the crime scene with a leaf blower. Before we go any further, let's discuss all of the evidence that was present at the crime scene that day during the morning Canton PD search and the evening Mass State Police search in total, according to the Commonwealth. 1 broken cocktail-style glass. 1 men's sports shoe belonging to John O'Keefe. John's cap. 6 blood samples collected from the snow using improvised red plastic cups borrowed from a neighbor. And 37 pieces of shattered tail light plastic scattered across the crime scene. Now, envision all of that evidence on the grass surrounding John's lifeless body, precisely at the spot designated by the state of Massachusetts as the point where he came into contact with Karen Reed's taillight. This contact had such force that it resulted in the taillight explosively shattering into 37 pieces and the cocktail glass breaking. A violent impact of such magnitude that it not only knocked one of John's shoes off, but also sent his cap flying from his head. What was found by the Canton PD during the first search is quite curious. They were able to locate all of the broken cocktail glass pieces and all of the blood samples. However, of the 37 bright red tail light pieces laying in the pure white snow, they were able to find exactly 0.
It's 10 o'clock.
The Canton PD's morning search had concluded as the case was being transferred to Detective Michael Proctor of the Massachusetts State Police. As the clock neared 10 a.m., the blizzard intensified dramatically, subjecting Canton to a relentless onslaught of 2 to 4 inches of snow per hour. Throughout the day, the Massachusetts State Police Special Emergency Response Team, also known as CERT, remained on standby, poised for the command to initiate their own investigation of the crime scene. They were acutely aware that each passing minute only added to the accumulation of snow on the ground and diminished the available daylight for their search. However, CERT team leader Kevin O'Hare received a call from State Police Lieutenant Brian Tully, stating he did not have authorization to start the search yet. The reason for this many hours-long delay remains unknown. At 4:55 p.m., the sun would set with nearly 21 inches of snow on the ground and more still falling from the sky. With no daylight, high winds, and at times blinding whiteout conditions, visibility could not have been worse. Authorization would finally come, and at 5:44 p.m. the CERT team, along with State Police Detective Lieutenant Brian Tully, would conduct a second search of the crime scene outside 34 Fairview Road. There is no record of the area being cordoned off since the morning search, which left it wide open for anyone to access, unmonitored until the state police arrived. Under these conditions, one wonders how they could have found anything at all. However, what the Massachusetts State Police claim to have found is truly mystifying and challenges rationality. 20 inches more of snow, 40-mile-per-hour winds, and complete darkness. The state police claim to have found 2 bright red and 1 clear plastic pieces of shattered taillight, along with John's missing shoe. Logic would dictate that a mix of evidence should have been found by both teams. However, the fact that the morning search found all of the cocktail glass pieces indicates they did a meticulous job searching the area. Then how in the world during their 2-hour search did they miss 37 pieces of bright red shattered taillight glass, including 1 corner piece the size of a small teacup? And furthermore, what explains the Massachusetts State Police's ability to find them during the second largest January storm ever recorded in the Boston area? Lastly, how was the shoe missed in a few inches of snow during the morning search?
Shoes too dirty.
Earlier that afternoon, troopers Buchanan and Proctor took a 30.5-mile drive to Karen Reed's parents' home in Dighton, Massachusetts. The stated purpose of their visit was interviewing Karen about what had occurred the evening prior. Excerpt from the Commonwealth Statement of Case, dated June 2022, and signed by Assistant District Attorney Adam C. Lally.
At approximately 4:30 p.m. on January 29th, troopers Buchanan and Proctor arrived at a residence in Dighton, Massachusetts, the home of the defendant's parents. Upon their arrival, they observed a large black Lexus SUV bearing registration 3G684, registered to the defendant, parked outside the garage door in the driveway to the home. The troopers observed the rear right passenger side taillight to be shattered and a large red piece of plastic to be missing from the taillight. The black Lexus SUV was seized from the driveway of the defendant's parents' home in Dighton on January 29th as well. The vehicle was then transported via tow to the Canton Police Department.
If the troopers arrived at 4:30 p.m., interview Karen inside the home, tow her vehicle at 5:30 p.m. as claimed, and then drive 1 hour back to the Canton Police Department, it would be impossible for them to make it back before the 5:44 p.m. search begins. Which means they would have no opportunity to plant the taillight fragments. On May 2nd, 2023, award-winning journalist Aidan Kearney from Turtleboy Daily News would break a story that would profoundly shake the foundation of the case and cast doubt on the integrity of both the Massachusetts State Police and the Norfolk District Attorney's Office. Kearney reported the existence of time-stamped video footage from the Reeds' home, showing Karen's vehicle being towed at 4:12 p.m. And he would go on to report more evidence in the form of public records requests to the Dighton Police Department, ultimately proving that the troopers arrived at 3:27 p.m. and were gone by 4:17 p.m. This means Trooper Proctor and the vehicle were unaccounted for a period of 1 hour and 18 minutes, and that they had plenty of time to reach the crime scene before the 5:44 search began. And that they lied about the timeline on official court documents in a murder trial. Quoting Aidan Kearney, "What these people are doing is evil and tyrannical, and we will never stop exposing their lies until each and every person who helped cover up the murder of John O'Keefe is criminally charged." There are lingering questions. Why did the Massachusetts State Police decide to tow Karen's vehicle to the Canton Police Department, especially given that it was no longer an active Canton police investigation? After all, there were many state police facilities in the area that would have been easier to travel to during a historic winter storm. Could the reason have been that the Canton Police Station is located a mere 1.4 miles from the crime scene? And troopers Proctor and Buchanan had a small, closing window of time to get there before the evening search commenced. And as first reported by Turtleboy Daily News, why, in a recent court document, has the Commonwealth discreetly revised their timeline of these events, over a year after they were affirmed as factual by Assistant District Attorney Adam Lally and District Attorney Michael W. Morrissey? Why didn't Lucky see a body on the lawn? Why was the Ford Edge parked in front of the crime scene for over an hour at 2:30 a.m.? Why did Jennifer McCabe Google how long to die in cold at 2:27 a.m.? Where is all the missing evidence? Why weren't all of the people present in the house that night interviewed, and why was it never searched? With Aidan Kearney's investigative work exposing the inconsistencies and misdeeds surrounding the case, the truth has become increasingly undeniable. The legacy of Officer John O'Keefe has become a symbol of the enduring pursuit of truth and justice, and his memory serves as a reminder of the power of interested citizens, coupled with relentless investigative journalism.
Good morning.
That was powerful. Again, you go back to you forget how much you know, right? And that's just a little reminder.
So many things. Listen, if that taillight shattered the way it did, there's no way you're getting microscopic pieces. You're not finding them. There's no way that not in the middle of a snowstorm the way they said that. That's all they were talking about.
I can go back and pick apart a lot more now, like the timeline from Karen's house. That was huge. You know,
That
having them lie in a police report, right? They lied in a police report to indict her. Right, and they make it back in time. They play the taillights. That gives them the timeline to work. But again, that's just the tip of the iceberg kind of thing. It's like, why did they go in the house? You know, why did Lucky see the body? Why was the Ford Edge parked out front?
They went to Karen's house, right, to go seize her car.
Yep.
They waited at the top of the street for the Dighton cop to come and show up. It was a storm, remember?
Yep, it was snow.
They waited at the top of the street together. Then they drove to Karen's house, looked at her car, went in her house. They didn't go in any house around the crime scene at all.
The other thing, too, that's a good point. That you know,
The neighbor,
no one told-
the neighbor who provided the solo cups.
Oh God. Yeah. The other thing too is why, if they saw the shattered tail light, like they said, with all the big pieces missing, why did they photograph it right there? Why did they memorialize it right there with their iPhones or something? That too is a big tell for me. Because if you're an investigator, and you
That's
see
evidence.
something-
That's
you
evidence, right? You want to
you
call the team down and take pictures of the evidence as it is.
Yep. And then the line in the report by Proctor, and then having Adam Lally sign it. That's
How?
that's
How?
wrong. I mean, how many other times has that happened? Right? Now listen to this. How many cases has Adam Lally prosecuted that he knowingly signed an affidavit or a statement from a trooper that was incorrect?
Does he even know? Think about that. Does he even know how many? He just signs his name to stuff. I don't see him knowing anything.
As long as it fits his narrative and the timeline works, I'm sure he's going to go with it. It's just the way business works with these guys. They know, hey, I got this. It's all lined up. He proofreads it. Okay, let's go. No one ever thought she'd fight back.
Okay.
No. Yeah.
Last night, I watched something, and I had to stop it, and I hit pause.
Okay.
And I walked outside, and I came back in, and I rewound it, and I sat there and I watched it again.
All right.
And I couldn't believe what I heard. You ready?
Yeah.
Remember there was a murder down in Cape Cod? Got to be 20 years ago, a while ago. That Krista Worthington lady, she was some big to-do lady. Remember that?
She was an author.
Yeah, remember that?
And the trash man was actually found guilty, and he was kind of like a simpleton, right? Like really, he just really okay.
Just like Lucky, just happy doing his thing. Maybe go out on the weekends. Just likes to work. Likes that Monday to Friday schedule routine. Like that's who, right?
And trash down there is privatized, so it's like an
Correct.
outside company. Yeah. I know all about this case, but go ahead.
Bernie Ward, thank you very much. My goodness, thank you, Bernie. By the way, if you want to support the channel, please like, subscribe. We're trying to get the channel up, trying to get the numbers up. Like, subscribe, Cash App, Venmo. Oh, we have to figure new ones out for that. Yeah, figure that out later. But Mike, I watched this and I couldn't believe what I heard. I'm gonna share this, and this is from 48 Hours.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we'll get gigged on it.
Oh yeah, be careful.
Yeah, I'm trying to be thoughtful in that area. So if we talk over it, I think we can use it for fair use. But I do want to give 48 Hours the credit, because this is their work. This is definitely them. I suggest you subscribe to 48 Hours. I'll do that now.
I do. It's a good YouTube channel.
I like watching them, these shows.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Mike, I heard this and I could not believe it. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear that?
You were discharged
from this jury.
Yeah.
Dude. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
It was deadlocked. They replaced the juror, guilty.
Yep.
I bet you it was that one person who said, I don't believe it.
There was probably one holdout, and they replaced that juror, and they got what they wanted. That's stacking the deck, man.
Dude, that's not
No.
that's not what the jury's specifically to prevent that.
Look at his lawyer's face right now. Like, this is.
Can't believe it. Out of his mind.
He knew
And
he knows he
Mike-
got railroaded. Yep.
Mike,
Yeah.
this guy who's being accused of it
Yeah.
has always said from day one, I didn't do it.
Yeah. He never wavered.
Not once.
That's a good one. If you get a chance today or tomorrow when it's raining out, to rewatch
Definitely.
this one, Murder on the Cape, 48 hours.
Without
That's
a
a good one.
doubt.
It's a good one.
And you know what else caught me as kind of,
You know what I'll
trying
do?
to find it.
I'll tweet it on my X page today when I get off the show, and just or maybe Shelby or somebody, Melissa, can drop a link in there about that one. They're kind of cool. It's a good
Yeah,
one. And
definitely.
it was definitely something weird. There was a fisherman who was married. He was having an affair with her. He was found not guilty, but he was a local guy, and everybody liked him. And this guy, the trash guy, I think he might have had sexual relations with her at one
He did.
time, Tom.
He did.
Okay.
He did.
All right.
So because
So-
his DNA was there, or like there on the scene, which it should have been. I mean,
Right.
guilty.
Yeah, and I just wonder about. We go back to the timeline thing. They're just trying to place him there in the right time, i.e. the medical examiner's involved. They place the time of death at this. It needs to fit that.
He could have went there that night and visited her, right, and then
Yeah.
left. Doesn't mean he murdered her
That's right.
in any way. There's no correlation there. But watch this, Mike. This caught my eye. Are you ready for this part?
Sure.
There you go. You see the trooper?
Mason. Yep.
So they used a trooper. They had a deadlock on the jury, so they replaced the juror. And all of a sudden, this guy becomes guilty.
hmm I think he's exonerated now, Tom. Am I right? I think he's out.
Doesn't matter. That happened,
Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
right?
Yeah, you're right. It still happened. Yeah,
It's happening now.
it's a blemish on the judiciary system everywhere. I mean, that is so blatant. I've never seen a juror get called out that was holding out get replaced so they could find the guilty verdict. There should have been a mistrial from the rip. Crazy.
So
Now, and those are the trooper's words, right? Saying
Yes.
that I beat her. And well, where's the actual confession on tape?
there isn't any.
Right. You're right, dude.
And what he said is he never wanted that lady to get hurt.
Oh yeah, take that out. I didn't hit him. I shot the clerk. I didn't hit him.
I wouldn't want anyone to get hurt.
Right. If you say that in front of a
Done.
trooper, that can
Guilty.
be taken so many different ways. And
And
again, it's not taped. Show me the videotape of him sitting in an interrogation room saying those words, and how it inflects his tone and inflection, how he says it could make a difference, right?
listen, you got the state police. That would make a difference. Who's not gonna believe a state police trooper when they get up on the stand and they put their hand up and they say they're gonna tell the truth? Who thinks they're lying?
Nobody. You're right, Tom. You're absolutely right, man. That's where the injustice comes in. And now this guy, he picks up trash for a living. He doesn't have any resources. He
But
doesn't
what's
have
he
any
gonna
resources.
do? What's he gonna do? Like, what's he gonna go to the state police?
He's
The
trapped.
DA?
He's trapped.
It doesn't make it again. How can we see this and look and see it again and it be wrong both times?
There's a pattern.
What about investigating themselves with the Justin Root issue?
Yeah. There's another one that were taking body cameras that weren't on, right?
Some were,
Or-
some weren't. Some left in the car.
So to your point, we should have access to body camera footage ASAP, not 8 months later before trial, because that can be manipulated. It can be not found. So even though they have body cameras,
Yes.
what happens next after an incident happens? How do you turn that data over, and who has availability to it?
Well, that was Helena's problem, is with the body cameras, is they can get the cameras, but it's storing the data that the cameras record on a system. So, for example, if I have an interaction with you, I need to take that interaction and put it into a database that ties it together with the report number that gets generated from the computer for whatever that issue is. Does that make sense? Got to tie all of them together. So it's another extension of the database they're using. So expect a new update for the database in the computer. There's going to be an area for the body cam footage on the screen here instead of keeping it separate. It's going to be included into the main system for the people.
And then you have a lawyer that has a password that goes into the portal, can pull that case, all the files that the police have, including video, any tape confessions, and now we're all playing the same game.
Imagine that.
We're all
Both lawyers have access to that data.
One has to turn it over for discovery. They should be timed and how long they have to put it in. Let's say you get a week to write all the reports up, get all the video confessions on, the tape confessions on, any statements you have. And it goes into I'm going to use a PDF, but there's a better way for it. And it goes into a secure database or portal where only defense can get, once he's hired by the client, he gets assigned like a case log number. He can go in and pull and extract all that data instead of waiting for a DA to turn it over when they feel like it. A week before trial, a day before trial, day of the trial. That to me is just.
Listen, Mike, I am so sure that there are so many smarter people out there in this world than me that probably look at this problem and why is it still happening?
The blue wall.
I would think these people would fix it.
It's a good question, Tom. Where do you start? So if you're the leader of the Massachusetts, Maura Healey, okay, Maura Healey.
Yeah, bingo.
If you know about this, and it makes keep it simple, stupid. This is all you really have to do, and you have to have requirements and accountability for anybody that wears a vest that has footage that was at an incident. You got to turn it over. You got to download it every time you come off your shift. Put it into I don't know. Makes sense.
Mike, there are so many questions, right? And just the fact that there are questions, that's a problem.
Right.
That's a big problem. This isn't like he said, she said over a television set, or you crashed my car. This is someone's life.
No, it's no joke. And back to the gentleman down the Cape, there's so much more holes you can punch in that now in terms of timeline. It's not memorialized with the confession. That should be thrown out. It's just a trooper up there with his hand raised saying, "This is what he told me." Well, okay, that's all good and fine, but show me the money, show me the data, show me the confession. If you don't have it, don't say it, because this poor guy has got his reputation up against your reputation, and guess what? You have a gun and a badge.
Bingo. And who's gonna think that the trooper's not telling the truth?
That's right, man. They like it this way, the troopers, because ultimately it comes down to, well, if we don't have all this stuff, it's my word against their word. You know what? I got a gun and a badge. I'm looked up to in society. Now, again, I'm pro-police.
Listen, I am, Mike, my friend who I grew up with, never did any drugs. This kid's a straight shooter, was in the Marines, ended up being a state police trooper, ended up moving up the ranks, then moved up the ranks even more to a serious position. I don't think you can get any higher, this guy. He was pretty up there.
Was he a colonel?
He was up there. Like, okay. Yeah, one of them people.
Captain somewhere. Yeah.
And he would never, ever, ever do the wrong thing. Ever. Growing up as a kid, that's who he was. He was just wired different than anybody else. Right?
Okay.
When they interviewed him to be a state police officer, they went back to his first grade teacher and asked about him. Every single grade, they went and interviewed his teacher. They went into this kid's background, something fierce. He was 100% straight as an arrow, this guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't see him allowing this. He would blow the whistle on something like this so hard. He'd start shooting people. It would be that bad. And he's that straight. He's the perfect police officer if there ever was. So I don't see how it can get so bad. And I mean, he just retired a while ago. So I don't see how it can go from what I know he was running or in charge of to being corrupt. It can't be that way.
Well, I think there's certain maybe offices, districts, and people that are led by a bad person are going to end up ultimately being bad. Like that saying I have: "Show me your friends, I'll show you your future." So if your friends are great, if your friends are great people, you're going to kind of generally just always tell the truth, do the right things, kind of like that. I like that. And then if you have somebody that's corrupt and they're like, they love anarchy, by the way, because they punch holes in everybody's story. They can punch holes in anything. They like disorganization. They don't want accountability. So you just look at the leadership that you work for, and you can kind of tell which way your career is going to go. Now, Brian from LTL had Todd McGee on.
Oh, what a great interview. Did you see that?
I watched the whole thing, man.
Oh my God. What a great, I don't know if you guys have watched that, but you should absolutely watch that interview. Yeah. Great job, Brian, by the way. Well, great job.
One of the best ones I saw.
Yeah.
Just because we were able to hear something through the lens of a retired state trooper. And he was open and honest about everything.
And Brian has no problems asking straight up the question. Boom, here you go. Like it's not monkeying around.
No, and then it was even better. It's like this Mr. McGee is so confident in what he does and what he's been through that he's opened the questions up to the chat. The chat could ask him anything, and he answered it.
Now, that Todd, right?
Yeah,
he is similar to my friend who was up there. He's that type of a person. This is right and this is wrong. And there's no, this is maybe a little wiggle room in a couple different things, but no, just no. So I can't with Todd. Can you see the Todd working for a corrupt organization? Can you see him? Like I can't swear that away with what I know of my friend.
See, I would follow a guy like Todd. If I worked for,
how can you not? That's what you expect for a police officer.
And if I had a boss that was corrupt, even in business, if you do your work with somebody that was just no good at what they did, they lied, they cheated, they steal, I'm out.
Yep.
See you.
Not worth my time.
Even if I found out a year later, I'm out.
Yep.
I'll see you later. I don't want to be associated with that kind of stuff, and it's just crazy.
Speaking about, let's check this. Thank you, Shelby. This is the best part. Yes, it is.
Some said the evidence given to the court and jury in the case now hears for the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. I do.
All right, whenever you're ready, Mr. Lally.
Thank you. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Could you please state your name and spell your last name for the jury?
Nicholas Barrows, Barros.
And how are you employed, sir?
With the town of Dighton.
And what, if any, role or what do you do for the town of Dighton?
I'm a police sergeant for the police department.
And how long in total have you been a member of the Dighton Police?
In total, Started in 2011, 14 years this December.
And how long have you had the rank of sergeant with the Dayton Police?
A year and a half.
Now, if I could direct your attention to January 29th, 2022. Do you recall that date?
I do.
And were you working that date?
I was.
And do you recall what kind of shift you were working on that occasion?
I was working the 8 to 4, the day shift.
And was that the only shift that you had worked on that occasion, or how long had you been on shift by the time you came on for the 8 to 4?
That particular day, I was working from 8 a.m. to midnight. It was on a double.
Now, at some point when you first came in, with reference, if you could explain to the jury just briefly or in general terms, when you come on shift for the Dayton Police, what, if any, communication, well, first and foremost, what was your role as far as that particular shift was concerned?
I was the officer in charge that day from 8 a.m. to midnight. When I came in at 8 a.m., the outgoing shift, the midnight to 8 shift, had advised me that a resident had called the police station on a 911 call requesting a ride to Brockton Hospital to meet his daughter due to her daughter's boyfriend passing away, and he needed a ride due to the snowstorm.
And then as your shift continued, what, if any, further contact or who, if anyone, reached out to you in regard to that earlier situation?
Later on, I believe it was around 2:30 in the afternoon, I received a phone call from the Norfolk District Attorney's Office with the troopers assigned there, and they had stated that they were going to come to Dayton to retrieve a vehicle that was involved in a homicide.
And did they give you a specific address as far as where they were going?
I believe the address was 345 Country Hill Drive in Dayton, North Dayton.
And with regard to that address, what, if anything, did you recognize between that and the earlier call that you were just speaking of?
That was the address that came up on the 911 call when that gentleman had called earlier on the prior shift.
And at some point, did you come to find out who the residents were at that address on Country Hill Lane?
I did.
Okay.
Who did you find them to be?
It was the Reed residents.
All right. So, Sergeant, I'm going to ask you to keep your voice up, and Mr. Lally, you too.
And the Reed residence, was that a William and Janet Reed, is that correct?
Correct.
Now, as far as you received that call at about 2:30, do you know specifically who you spoke to around 2:30 in the afternoon?
Trooper Michael Proctor.
And as far as that earlier information that you were talking about with the 911 call, what, if anything, from that did you impart to Trooper Proctor?
I advised Trooper Proctor that we did receive a 911 call on the midnight to 8 shift about the resident looking to get a ride to Brockton Hospital.
And during that initial call, how was it sort of left as far as what, if anything, you were going to provide as far as assistance or with regard to the troopers on that first call?
On the first call, the troopers just had asked me if I could meet them at that residence as a courtesy since they were coming into my jurisdiction.
And what, if anything, did they indicate to you as far as where they were or when they felt they would be arriving in that area?
Trooper Proctor advised me that they were heading, I believe, from Canton, and once they were about 10 minutes away, they would recontact me so that I could meet them at the residence.
And subsequently, later in that afternoon, did you receive further contact from Trooper Proctor?
I did.
And do you know about what time that was?
I believe the first phone call was around 3 p.m. that he had called me and said that they would be there in about 10 minutes.
And upon receiving that call, what, if anything, did you do?
I had contacted, Trooper Proctor had asked me to contact our tow company to have them meet us at the residence as well. And I said once I hung up with him, I would contact the tow company and then respond to that address on Country Hill Drive.
Is there a specific tow company that the Dayton Police uses with regard to towing of vehicles within the town?
During that period, it was Diamond Towing.
And so did you contact someone at Diamond Towing in reference to responding to that address as well?
I did. I contacted the owner and he responded.
Now, as far as that area of Dayton, if you could explain to the jury sort of what you observed as you were coming down towards that residence on that day?
Okay, so when I responded to that address, that street is off of 138. When I turned onto Country Hill Drive, I was traveling west. When I arrived on that street, I observed a black pickup truck parked on the street facing east. I was flagged down by that black pickup truck by the driver and was told that they were the troopers that I had spoke to, Trooper Michael Proctor and the other sergeant.
Sergeant that left the room as you were coming in?
Correct.
And what if the identification did they provide to you in reference to that?
They showed me their ID and their badges.
And then from there, where did you proceed?
I had parked my marked police vehicle at the end of the driveway since it was a snowstorm and we could not get into the driveway. And then we walked up to the residence.
So when you say it was a snowstorm and we couldn't get into the driveway, can you expound upon that a little as far as explain to the jury why it was that you couldn't get into the driveway?
It was about a foot of snow in the driveway.
And as far as that snow that you observed when you arrived there, was that snow, how did that snow appear as far as, did it appear as if it had been shoveled or snow blown or untouched, or how did it?
It was untouched.
Now, as you're going through the snow, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's yourself, Trooper Proctor, and the sergeant from the state police, and who, if anyone else, is going along with you?
I had an officer that was field training with me that day, and he was with me as well. And we went up to the residence.
And as you're walking up to the residence, what, if anything, did you come upon as you're going towards, say, any door or getting closer to the home?
I remained at the garage. The two troopers went to the front door and made contact with the homeowner.
Now, as far as you were there specifically for a vehicle, correct?
Correct.
Did you observe a vehicle in the driveway at any time?
Yes, we observed a black Lexus SUV in the driveway.
And what, if any, observations did you make to the rear area of that vehicle specifically?
At first, I did not go up to the vehicle. I just remained at the driveway and waited for the troopers to come back. And once they came back, they were let into the house through the garage. I had walked in with them briefly and then went back out to the garage and remained with the vehicle.
And as far as at any point in time, did you have any conversation with anyone named Karen Reed that day while you were at the house?
I did not.
Now, with respect to you come back out to the garage, is that correct?
Correct.
And the troopers are inside the house, is that also correct?
Correct.
Now, at some point, do other vehicles come down to the driveway area of this residence that you were at?
I had contacted the highway superintendent after speaking with the troopers about how to retrieve the vehicle since the driveway was untouched and had about a foot of snow. I had made the decision that I would call the highway superintendent and see if that he would come and plow the driveway so that the tow truck would have access inside in the driveway.
And just in reference to this driveway, just if you could, not exact footage or anything, but how close is this Lexus SUV parked in relation to the roadway? How long is that drive?
It's got to be about 150 feet off the roadway, if not more.
And if you recall, from where you're standing at the point of the garage, was what part of the vehicle was facing you? Was it the front of the vehicle, the back of the vehicle, the side of the vehicle? If you know?
I was looking at the left side of the vehicle.
And at some point, did you make any observations of the right rear part of that Lexus SUV?
I did.
And what, if anything, did you observe about that area of the vehicle?
I saw that there was some damage to the right rear taillight. To my best ability and recollection, that tail light was not completely damaged. It was cracked and a piece was missing, but not completely damaged.
And then beyond the tail light area of that vehicle, what, if anything else, did you observe as far as damage to the rear passenger side area?
Like a dent.
There you go.
That's all you need to hear. That's all you need to hear.
An honest police officer.
So I just want to recap something real quick. He had a trainee in the car with him, right?
Imagine that.
See, that's how it starts. You gotta pass your knowledge on, right? You gotta train these guys to do it the right way, not just the right way, every single time.
Mike, Proctor and Buchanan were coming from Canton. They didn't go to 34 Fairview. They went to the police department. Remember? They sat down, had a 45-minute conversation.
In Canton.
In Canton, correct.
Yeah.
And then they left and they went directly to Karen's parents' house. How'd they know she was there? But they went there with the purpose of just getting the car. We're going to scoop the car.
Mm-hmm.
That was their intent when they left the police station. They were going directly there because they made the phone call. Yes.
And okay, that's a great point. But so the call to the Dighton police station is that we need to get a car because it was involved in a homicide. Right? It was first a domestic. So when did they change it over from a domestic to a homicide?
Well, we know at 10 o'clock it was still being a domestic at the hospital from Uri.
That's right.
They left at 2 o'clock, right?
Mm-hmm.
The police station. So 10, 11, 12, 1, that's 4. What happened in that 4 hours?
That's
when the friends and family meeting, right?
Bingo. You're on it, Tommy. You got it.
And then bang.
It's a homicide.
We're going to get it. Got to change it around.
That's when the frame happened. Bam. Right when they called Dighton and said, we're going to seize a vehicle, right? Before even seeing it, because it was involved in a homicide.
Right off the bat, they're going to scoop the vehicle, and they called for a tow truck. So there was 100% intent. They weren't going to look at it. What if they went and that was pristine? What if there was no cracked taillight? Now what do you do? What do you do now?
Yeah, exactly.
It didn't matter. They were going to get the car. That's it.
Yep.
She was done.
They had tunnel vision on. They had the blinders on. They didn't care what else they saw. They know what they had to find to make their narrative work. And then they take her phone.
Of course. First thing.
So Sergeant Barrows destroys their timeline and their narrative. Because how does a cracked taillight at 3:30, whatever time they towed the vehicle, 3:30, 4 o'clock, whatever it was, go from a cracked taillight to a shattered taillight, and then pieces found an hour later in 21 inches of snow? Okay.
How? Like
doesn't.
They took the vehicle back to Canton. They drove by Middleborough. They drove by Milton, right?
Yep.
To bring the car back to Canton.
Right. Because the garages weren't fit to do an investigation on it. Okay. Now, going back to Brian and retired Trooper Todd McKee.
But that's that's where they take all the other vehicles.
Right. He said, and he just said, that's a huge red flag. Huge red flag. And then the other part, retired Trooper McGee said that leaving the scene unattended for 5 hours.
Massive.
He like even Todd, officer, retired Trooper, was surprised that this even went to trial.
Bingo. Mike, solo cops.
Yeah. He says, yeah, you know what? The police do use paper bags. They do.
Yeah.
Right? But they're sterile.
They're special evidence bags. Absolutely. They're different types of bags. They're not.
And they're sealed right then and there. They're sealed, marked, and turned over. They're not sitting on a garage. They're not sitting on a garage floor in a Sallyport in Canton next to the murder weapon.
Did you see any evidence markers?
None.
Funny, huh?
You get me worked up because
think of the balls. Think of the balls they had when they knew what they were skipping. They were skipping this, skipping that, not taking pictures of this. And you're telling me that your supervisor signed off on this?
That's right.
Huh.
That's right. It's still so
really
deeper than that. So the officers are putting together the frame. They're gonna put it all together for the ADA. He's gonna sign off on it. Now, guess what? He's knee deep in it too now. He's got to come up and support what he signed because, oops, they got us. Because you have a sergeant in a police station on duty with a trainee saying, "Yeah, I walked up to that thing and it was just cracked. It was not the way they proposed it to be with all those other pieces being." So when did all those pieces come off in the Sally Port?
They had to.
Yeah. So that Sally Port video, even though it was inverted, was still good.
Where's the outside video? What color Jeep was Higgins driving? Where's that
White.
video?
Yeah,
Where's
it's
the
white.
video of Higgins' Jeep?
That's the $1 million question.
There's no video of it. It doesn't exist. So the CPD's got no outside cameras.
Yeah, they do.
Not according to them. Where is it?
Well, they again.
Oh, they made the determination not to give it up.
That's right.
And look, think of the balls that takes to do that.
So how many people are in on this, Tommy? Start counting from there, right? You're hiding exculpatory evidence. You're hiding, prosecution evidence that can help put bad people away. You're burying that, right? You're lying and helping and corroborating with murderers.
I am so glad that Laura said that she's able to see what we're trying to put out there.
All right.
In a way that to her, because everyone's different, but to her, she sees how blatantly obvious it is. Think of the balls these people have.
And right then and there, yeah, I know. It's
they knew they could get away with it. Think of the arrogance.
Yeah, they knew they had a DA, an assistant DA. Maybe they couldn't, they're going to go ahead and get the trial. They had to mess with the jury.
We don't want you, and you because you're pro. It
happened down the Cape, right?
We just saw it. It was holding it up because he didn't. Nope, he's not guilty.
Right. And I always love to talk to that guy and find out what part of that did you make it not guilty? What was making you hold out? And it's pretty obvious to me the timeline probably didn't fit. This guy, he didn't take the stand because he's not that. I hate the word smart, but he was not.
He's not articulate. How about that? He's just not that articulate.
I worked with people like that. They pick up trash or they work, whatever, and they're great people.
They're hardworking. Listen. And I would long for that day where I can just do one thing and be one thing and happy, just happy to do it.
He was,
and some people are, and that's like Sergeant Barrows is happy to do his job. He told the truth.
But who taught him? Right?
Somebody in
that police department.
Or he stood up for himself and said, "I'm not putting up with it."
Right. Okay. So someone in that police department said, "Okay, that's great. We're going to put you with all the rookies. You can train them." Someone had the insight to say, "Hey, this Sergeant Barrows is the type of personality, moral compass that we need here." Because maybe we had some bad issues in the past. I'm not sure. But maybe it's time to take one step and start cleaning up 1 and 2 at a time, because people do retire, they leave for whatever reason, but take a new guy and put him with a good guy.
Do you think Sergeant Barrows thinks twice about calling the state police for anything right now? Do you think that is a thought in his head?
No.
Oh, I think he's very questionable. I think he would question.
I think if he's this smart, that if he's calling the DA's office, the state police or something, he already knows the answer to the question. He wants to either confirm it or deny it.
Right.
I know he was doing his detail, or he was on duty, got rear-ended. He's been out of work for a while.
Ooh, I hope he's all right.
No, that was before the trial, though. I mean, after the trial.
Ooh.
So
I didn't know that hurts.
Yeah, he got rear-ended. Yeah. So he's been out with a bad back or something like that, but I don't know if he's back yet. I read that somewhere, but yeah. So when if someone holds a sign up at the standout and says, "In a world full of proctors, we need more Sergeant Barrows."
Yeah, we do.
Right.
I mean, people listen. Don't even get me going with people and their signs. I've seen some of the most creative, thoughtful, beautiful signs that these people bring to these standouts, Mike. Like, You just look at it and you're like, that's one of the. You've seen them. You've seen the signs that people make.
I make signs for my front lawn when there's stuff going on in Canton,
and you
I'm gonna
know,
tell you, it's a pain in the ass. I'm not that artistic, so I'm like, I just write yes. You know, I just do it.
It's a little bit of work.
It is. So
Yeah.
we see these spray painted sheets that are all nice and neat, and the letters are all agronomically, organ, whatever you want to call it. You know, they fit right on the sheet perfectly, and they're balanced and they're squared up, and like, okay, that's someone else needs to do that. I can't do that.
You know who does a really good job is Deanna. I think it's Deanna Corby. She makes the big white banners. Oh my, Mike, they are the best. They are. They really, people hold them up. They are.
Well, I saw them at the State House, and they blow in the wind. They were in Quincy the other night.
Speaking about blowing in the wind.
Wait. Hey, guys. I literally woke up like 5 minutes ago. I slept through my alarm. Can you give me 10 minutes and I'll be there?
Listen, there's no rush. Take your time. Whenever you want, just let us know. We're here.
Thank you. Okay, I'll see you soon. Sorry.
No rush. No rush. It's way okay.
Okay.
All right. Sweet.
See, that's what I'm talking about. People like that, right? Miss Shorty.
Yeah.
She's late for an appointment or a meeting with us. She has the fortitude, the consciousness, and the moral compass. Let me just tell them what's going on, not just showing up 10 minutes late, right?
Right. Yeah.
It's the little things in life. If you pay attention to them and you're aware of them, you can read people a lot better.
Well, dude, she's going to work. So for her, it's like 3 a.m. for her. She just got up and she's got to go to work today, but she's going to spend time with us on here before she does that. So that's pretty friggin' next level awesome. And she just took a minute to say hi to us. Just, she's just getting up. So,
right. So that's respect. That's right. That's respect, right?
Give us what time she needs. I mean, yeah.
Right. And we have no problem with that, right? But we have a problem with someone saying they're going to come on and they ghost us. Well, okay, that's fine.
That's on them.
That's on them. But just shows you what kind of person you might be, what kind of manners you have, how you brought up, how you taught, right?
Yeah.
And that goes a long way in your business life too. If you are, if you're an asshole when you're talking to somebody and you're short and you're smitten and you think you're the smartest guy in the room, that comes across to other business people.
And they don't like it.
Not at all. You'll find yourself on the outs. You will find yourself struggling to get business. You will find yourself being invited back to a meeting. You'll find yourself in trouble with your peers, and people won't want to deal with you.
It's funny you say that because I used to hate going to those meetings. I hated them.
Why?
Because people would just talk around the subject, and I'm like, I don't want to talk. You're saying 30 words when you can just say yes.
Right.
And I don't want to call them out and say. So I just have to sit there and listen to all this blah 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 blah. When, okay, I know what I got to do. What's speaking about? Listen, I got tapped for a special project. It's a 30-day hitch. Right. And I have to do some stuff. I got 9 o'clock. I got to start. So we got to do the show early in the morning for a little bit until I finish this contract. It's wicked awesome. I can't talk about it, but
I know what I'm happy for you. In fact, I might have leaked something, Tom.
You did
by mistake.
Oops.
So, do you want to pull it up? We just get it out there, or you want to just let it go?
I don't know. What's the chat think?
It's out there, Tom. So I'm just a matter of time, and no one's going to be able to get a hold of you, from those hours.
True.
So people are going to want to know, and I don't want to be, spewing the bullshit. And
well, it's not. I mean, this has been a lot of work. This is something
that I'm really proud of for Tom. I'm really excited for him. He's not. He's so humble. He's like, I don't know. All right. I'm like, do you realize what's going on here? Do you understand what's happening here? He's like, yes, so. I go, I don't think you really do. And so I tweeted it and I told the mods about it, and we had a little meeting about it. So unbeknownst to
Nope, you just lost your internet. Look at that.
Tom, I kind of put it
All
out there.
right, you lost.
Yeah. So if you pull it up, and all right, if you can pull it up, I'd like to talk about it just because I think people need to know it's Sunday. You know, it's a good day. Oh, there's a couple of standouts today too, by the way. One in Dedham from 10 to 12, and one in Plymouth from 4 to 6.
So
KarenReedStandouts.com. Go ahead.
So I got a text / yeah. So real quick.
You'll put it on the screen.
Yeah.
So all right, so Tom, I'll talk about it because I know you're humble and you want. So Tom was approached by
No.
I know. Tom was approached by a producers, we'll say, right? Regarding his footage right here. You can see it, I believe, right? I reached out back to him just because I wanted to help Tom out because he's going to be gone a lot of the days during the next month with his contract. And he's going to be unable to really, communicate through business sense because he's going to be in the trenches. And he is being asked for a licensing agreement for his footage by a major Hollywood producer. So I think that needs to go noticed. I don't think it should be sitting in the background anymore. I think Tom CPU, not with Boston Mike, but Tom CPU is going to be his footage and possibly even him. They're talking about having him in the film, documentary film, whatever you want to call it. And because he's in every goddamn picture that they have or streaming video they have of the Reeds coming in and out of court. Whatever. Tom was in the circle filming himself, and they really like what he has. And I think they are starting to find out that Tom has a lot more of the drive-ins, with the walk-ins with Mrs. Reed in the church at one time, talking to all the stand-up people, the Karen Reed supporters that he interviewed. So they sent over a contract yesterday. Not only did they want him, they actually sent the contract over, and I've been going over it. Tom's brother, I think, has been going over it as well, and I think we're going to sign it on Monday. And Tom's going to be Hollywood.
We'll see what happens. I don't know.
See that?
I only know what I know. I don't know any more than that.
Well, I can tell you this: being in the contract business for a long time, Tom, when someone says you a contract with an offer, all you have to do is sign it and you're in, right? But we just want to finish some things up. So that being said, Tom, you're all set.
Yeah,
I'm not going to get into the monies. That's not irrelevant.
No.
Tom, let me just tell you how Tom is so humble about this. Is that he's just like, yeah, whatever. What do you guys need? I don't care about the money. What do you want? I'm like, whoa.
Hey.
Whoa.
Hi.
Hi.
Bye.
Oh, hey, Shelby. So, I don't know. Did you hear me about the contract and you were so humble? Did you hear that part?
Yeah. I just,
all right. Tom, I know what the way I look at it, I don't mean to put your personal life out there, Tom, but it is what it is. You're not afraid of it. You're not embarrassed about it. But you know what?
No.
It's a hard knock life, right? It's a hard knock life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you get lemons, you make lemonade, and that's what Tom did. Tom was out there 9 months, 10 months out of the year, every day, filming on his own time. But you understand what Tom also has is the Can't 9 stuff.
Yeah.
Court date, right?
I have all Aiden stuff.
Right. So Tom's going to sign a licensing agreement. They don't own it, but he's going to let them use it.
Yep.
And they're going to probably include him in part of this stuff because he is in a lot of the video that they're filming.
Right. I'm already in there. I'm already in the shot. So I don't think they know, or I don't think they realize or can see how many different angles I do have. I mean, I have the audience. I have Karen walking in. I have her parents. I have lunch every day. I mean, I've been in the courtroom. I've been in the lunchroom. I've been everywhere. And you know what I got too? Karen. Karen took the time to say hi to all the fans and everyone that supports her.
At the
To me,
standout?
when we were in Taunton, remember she stopped by. You
Yeah.
were online.
Yeah.
No, I have that. No one else like
Right.
people. Other people have it, but I encompass everything. I have all of
Now,
it. And
Tom's goal for this when he started doing this, he never saw this coming.
no, I just wanted to make sure that Karen was getting a fair swing at this.
And he had another camera positioned on a flag, I believe, or on a pole, right?
Yep.
There's another angle, right? And like, just like take Scott McGinnis. Like, how much stuff has he done for you? And he's done a lot of shots.
Oh my God, yes.
So I think a lot of people that were at the standouts and at the hearings, yeah, you might see a flash of your face sometimes. Who knows? I can't tell you what they're going to take. How much? It comes down to they're actually buying seconds. This is how crazy it is. They're going to pay Tom by the second. A second. They're paying for a second. Okay, that's, to me, I've never heard of people buying a second. I've heard of a lot of other different contracts, but when Tom and I first talked about it, Tom says they want to buy it by the minute, and then I read the contract. And I called him right back. I go, oh, bro, it's by the second, and he's like, oh, is that good? I was like, yeah, kinda. Yeah. Makes a big difference. So, and he's got his brother involved, which I'm happy about. He's got his family members involved, and good for Tom. Yeah, because I know on this channel, your last channel, you had some disruption
issues.
And
there was issues there. Start over, start fresh. Like, subscribe to this channel, please.
Going forward.
Right.
You there?
Right. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
So just keep you. The other thing in life, as I always do, is like if I fail, I fall forward.
Yeah. Yep. Always.
I don't want to fall back. I want to fall forward. So
fall on your face.
Right. So I think that's what happened with Tom's CPU channel. Right. Something came along.
It's all learning.
Yeah.
Right.
And when he fell down, he went forward. But he still got to pick himself back up. But he gained more space. Right. So that's how I look at that. And
Scott doesn't know why I had to private all the videos.
What happened to through Thursday's live? Oh, because
Scott just got here.
Scott, Tom is going to sign with a production company on Monday. I can get into more details with you if you want to know more. It's up to Tom. Tom's brother's helping him out with it too. Yeah. I'm big with contracts. I did it my whole career.
Listen, real quick, and again, right? Just like we have the best mods, like I have the best people. So like I took the contract. I let you read it and you look at it and give me your opinion. Okay, and my brother the same way. 2 people I care about. I can't ask for more than that. I'm blessed.
And then absolutely, and then you know what? And we talked about Tom and I offline about the moderators in our chat and stuff. Yeah, how much they do for us.
A lot.
And they're not getting paid, but they're about to. All right. I don't know what it's going to be, but they're about to get paid, and that's not me. That's this guy.
I don't know nothing about it.
That's this guy right here. I didn't say anything about that. I just mentioned it, and believe it or not, he wanted to take you to the Bahamas.
Yeah.
I go, Tom, I love you. That's a great idea, but cash is king. And you know what? They can go to the Bahamas. If it's that kind of money, they can go to the Bahamas themselves. But
I want to do a mod takeover live from the Bahamas.
That's Tom's encompassment, is that he wants everybody together to enjoy this together. And I'm like, that's fine.
Because we've all even invite the friggin' people in the chat, because it's everybody. It's all of us.
Yeah, but you put the boots on the ground and filmed it to bring the content to these people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That just made sense. It did. Just don't deny yourself, Tommy. It's what Tom's so humble, and he's not used. I'm not going to say this in a bad way. He's not used to a lot of successes, big successes in his life, and this caught him off. This caught him off guard. But I had mentioned to Tom when we first started doing this channel that your content was gold.
Yep.
I remember that. Someone's going to come along, and maybe a year from now, and ask to look at it and view it, because you have stuff that no one else has.
That's right.
It happened a lot sooner than we thought.
True. Yeah.
It happened a lot sooner than we thought.
I didn't think it would happen even at all.
So just so you know, so we have a contract in hand. We're ready to sign it. We're just going to finish out a couple of things. Tom wants a private jet to go to all the openings. I don't know if I can get that. The photo shoots at the gala. We're not sure if he wants to attend those things. So
Red carpet thing with the whole thing in the backdrop. Yeah.
And he wants a fashion wardrobe.
I want to flash gang symbols on the red carpet.
So, well, he wants a whole new wardrobe set up every time he does a show. He doesn't want to. He won't do Dr. Phil. He refuses to do Dr. Phil. But we're gonna work some finer details. I'm just kidding about that stuff, but he's almost there. We're almost there, and we'll probably finish it on Monday. Tom's not gonna be around because he's gonna be offline, so to speak.
Something else going on.
But we do have a show Monday night at 7:00.
But and listen, we still got shows. We got shows in the morning.
Yeah. So Tuesday morning, we're gonna start at 7.
Right. Gonna be a little early in the morning because I have to.
He's a drive through night.
Yeah. So, but that's not a big deal, right?
I don't think so. I'm a morning guy, so you know what?
Yeah, me too.
We could do the replay crew. They can watch it again. That doesn't matter. I mean,
that's
as long as
that's fine.
Just put your eyeballs on it. Hit the like and subscribe. This channel now that we have, because of Tom's celebrity status, is it's true. It's true.
Oh, no. But no, it's not, dude. I'm just me. Like, dude, it's just me. I'm still the dude I was 6 months ago, a year ago, 5 years ago. 5 years from now forward, I'm still gonna be who I am.
I hope so.
I don't know anything else, but I don't want to be. I don't want to be fake. That's all. Just no.
Yeah, you haven't been yet.
I don't want to be. It's too much work to be somebody else. And like, listen, these people that have like 4 or 5 girlfriends, dude, how do they do that? I don't understand. How do they keep track of who's who? And man, I can't remember myself.
How do you lay your head down at night with your wife and know that you had 3 side pieces going on behind? It's not fun.
I could never. I can't even fit. I just no. So I'm trying like simple. I like simple routine, simple routine.
I know, Tom, because you.
So this is all messing me all up. I can do this if I know if it's just how my brain works. Whatever.
I know. So having a
doesn't really work.
As an agent for Tom, I'm Tom Cruise.
There you go.
I've been talking with Tom on the phone about what's actually happening. Excuse me, and we have to keep going back to the fact that this is actually happening, because he's like, I can't believe this is going to happen. I'm like, well, we have a contract in our hand right now, so I think he's going to wake up to it maybe today or tomorrow or whatever. But Tom's footage with Tom in it, you're going to see.
I don't know.
You're gonna see in the big screen.
Maybe,
or maybe on your own TV stream. Who I don't know, but. This is how it works is kind of weird, but I just told Tom, I go, Tom, so if they have to, pitch their idea to a major company and it's the Karen Reed case, it's just a matter of what Karen Reed is. You there? Karen Reed is the biggest court story.
Absolutely.
Since OJ. So put that ahead of you and just say, okay, so you know what's going to happen. Could it go international? Yeah, it could go international. Could it go to Australia? It's definitely going to go to Australia.
It's already there, right?
It's going to go to Ireland too. Because you get a lot of people from Ireland that are involved in this case that like this case. So,
what I love about the whole thing, what got me, and at this point, this one thing got me that I don't care about anything else. You know what it was? The stupidest little thing. You ready? This email, right? See what this says here? Our team looks forward to working with the what?
CPU crew.
Dude, seriously, like, don't care. Don't care about nothing else. The fact that he acknowledges that it's them too.
It's teamwork.
That's all I want. Like, that's perfect.
So that was Tom's whole thing yesterday and stuff. So all you mods, I don't want to name you, who you are. Thank you. You did Tom right, and you kept him up straight when he was probably down and out before I got here.
A couple times. People don't even know my story, dude. You don't even want to know what happened to friggin' me. You can't even imagine what the hurdles that I had to go through.
Well,
like forget it.
You can talk to a professional about that. How about that?
Yeah, we won't even talk about that. How's that? We'll just pretend it never happened, and I'll just keep my head up and do my thing.
Hey, it's your journey, man. It's your whole. Don't be mad about it. It's your own personal journey, and it is what it is. But as long as you keep falling forward and you have family and great friends, you're gonna be all right.
And again, the mods, they just.
That's what I'm yelling out to.
I got the best mods in the freaking internet.
Yep, and you guys, Shelby, Melissa, but who else? Shelby, Melissa,
Kim, Nikki, Catherine.
You got
Mary does a lot for me.
All right. All I can say, girls, is that we love you, but can you please get Rumble up?
And Snapchat and Instagram.
We love you, and we want to get it all going.
Listen, I'm working on it. All right.
All right. I wanted to call you out in open air. That's all I wanted to say. I wanted to put it on record and memorialize it. That's all.
No, I know.
Amy. Oh, don't forget Amy. Beautiful Amy.
Shelby, great job.
Mike, if I showed you pictures of Amy when she was pregnant.
Oh my God.
She's freaking beautiful. I've never seen a beautiful pregnant lady like this one. I don't know if it was the photographer, but it absolutely was the best pregnant person picture I've ever seen.
What? That's awesome, but I wouldn't share it. That's up to her.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
No. But
no,
congratulations.
No.
Congratulations.
Amy, if anything, Amy would show you because it's Mike. She's just stunning.
I believe it, man. Women like that glow. They glow around.
And that's what they captured. You can see it in these pictures, is what I'm saying. Like you can see that whole aura. Perfect.
Yeah. So congratulations to Tom and the CPQ crew. We all look forward, all right. So I think there's some probably hard work coming your way, mods, with when they request things, you might have to help out.
Yep. And timestamp and stuff and whatnot.
Yeah. So I'm sure they're gonna they might ask broad questions like, hey, can you find me this?
Right.
But hopefully they can say, hey, on this day, I need this, which would make your life a whole lot easier, and mine too. Mine too. So
I mean, this is again, this is we have Kristen too. I forgot Kristen. She's a new mod. And Kerry. This is all new to me, dude. So you got to realize I'm not, so
you're not mentally engaged with it yet.
No.
Once your signature goes on that contract tomorrow, right? It's game over.
Well, it's already signed. It just has to be sent.
Yeah.
So
Tom, you're taking all the leverage I have away right now by saying that. Please be quiet.
Well, good. But
they're gonna be like, hey, Tom already signed it. What are you talking about? Like, yeah,
I got it.
He hasn't hit send yet.
Good morning.
Yikes. Hi, I'm so sorry I'm late, fashionably late.
Not a problem.
We were just talking about Tom's I don't know if you were listening. Yeah.
I was.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Tom.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Honestly, couldn't happen to a nicer person, a more deserving person, a more hardworking, diligent, appreciated person. So people.
It's my mods, not me.
Yeah, Bahamas. Damn it! I wish I was a mod on your crew. Jeez.
Who says you're not?
So all you other mods out there that are working for other channels, booyah.
You're setting the bar high for my channel too, Tommy.
Yeah. Hey, excuse me. These guys are going to the Bahamas or whatever might happen, and what I get a shout out. Okay, all right.
I mean, that would go viral, right?
Amazing.
We'd have to bring Scott so we can bring a sign. Scott can just hang around with the sign behind us.
Oh my God! Imagine that, having just walking the beaches with the sign.
Yeah.
I'm not so proud. I can't see the Lou from here. Okay, God. Hey, you're more than welcome to chat if you want to get more details, because you're part of the circle. So
Yeah.
We love you, man. We love you, man.
Listen, Miss Shorty, you've been setting the internet on fire.
That's what I do, Tommy.
You're doing a good job. I see the fire trail right behind you everywhere you go.
Thank you. It's actually the tracks of my grift and my clout chasing train.
Oh,
so
that's what it is. It's got to be that.
yeah,
Definitely
you just can
that.
see like the exhaust fumes from my burning through.
So listen, I'm thinking real quick. I'm thinking, why is Australia and Ireland both? Why are you guys so much like us? Like news wise, like Karen Reed wise, like you guys fit right in as if you're here, like legitimately, as if you were at a standout yesterday with us.
Well, I don't know why. It could have something to do with our origins, our UK origins. You guys, what were you, the third settlement on the North American continent of European settlers from the UK. And we're the convicts. So I think there's even 200 for us, 250 for you guys, 400 years later. Like there's definitely still a link of a cultural tie of things that are important to us as peoples, as sort of communities. Like you guys, God save the Commonwealth. We still are in the Commonwealth and go to the Commonwealth Games and things. So in terms of human history, 250 years isn't that long a time to separate ties. We're still part of the monarchy here. Apparently you guys are too. Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. So
Yeah, but even today, right? Just the connection that we have with all of you guys, even Lily. I was talking to Lily, right? I mean, you guys are as if you're here.
Yes.
That to me is something that's just different. Even though you're so far away.
Well, I think
it's as if you're right next to us.
I think honestly, it's a credit to you and Tommy and Boston Mike that you fostered that sense of being right there with you. We do feel like we're right there with you because you're in the thick of things, boots on the ground, and so we can get that feeling. There's no more FOMO when you're around, and that's why the Hollywood's coming a calling to you, because what you've provided for us is invaluable because we feel like we're there. So I feel like I'm there, and you keep everybody in the loop and make us feel like you're our friends. So I think that's got a lot to do with it as well.
Tommy, how's your head feeling right now? Feel better?
No, I still have a headache.
At least you didn't just wake up like 14 minutes ago.
True.
Tom, it's good for Tom to hear that what you just said with Shorty, because he has a hard time processing that he brought a lot of people some news into their houses that you couldn't get from mainstream media.
Yeah, but Mike, look how close that she is with us, right? And even Eve, who's in Texas, right? Like, there's a connection there, and it's the Karen Reed started it, but we're all.
It's actually I know this is hard to hear because it seems so weird, but it's actually that's you. You've created that connection. 100%. You're so relatable. You're so humble, and nobody likes a cocky dickhead who thinks he's all that. And you're not that. Neither of you. You guys are just both good guys, and people appreciate that. Plus, you've brought us there, right there. You've brought us right there to Karen walking in, to Mrs. Reed, to David and Alan and Liza. Like, that's amazing. But your community, even like, I don't want to blow smoke up your ass, but even your coffee time, that's inviting people in just to come and sit and chat, and that's a really valuable thing. There's no with you and your channel and your content, there's no separation. You consider yourself part of the people, and so the people consider themselves part of you. That's it. And the chat community you've fostered, like, those things are all super valuable to people and matter, but also business wise, that authenticity, you can't make that shit up, mate.
You can't film that or with actors, authenticity. You film that in real life as you're walking with people and talking to, because you get them with a question or a moment where they're not expecting it, and it's not being filmed or directed by a director.
Okay, I see
Right.
that because I would.
Right.
I just go up to someone, throw a camera in their face, and blah blah blah. You know. So yeah.
That's the beauty of it.
Then that's intrepid. Like it's maybe you're not doing, maybe it's not full Aiden Turtle Boy. Like your style is not abrasive or anything, but you're intrepid journalism. You're putting yourself right in the thick of things, and people absolutely respect and admire the fact that every day, Tommy, you like rain, hail, or shine, every day you've been out there. There's no, I can't, sorry, or I don't really feel like it, or whatever. Like that consistency matters in this world. Consistency and authenticity and that connectivity matters so much. Like honestly, back yourself, both of you, but back yourself. You've provided an amazing service, but you've done it with like just a friend with a camera.
And that's all I see it as, Mike. That's what I was trying to explain to you. It's just I'm just there with the camera.
But that's why you'll always be successful, Tommy, because you're not there going like, yeah, I know, right? Look at me. I mean, I joke about the clouty and the grifty stuff, and I guess we all kind of do to a certain extent. But just being yourself and being raw and vulnerable and consistent and those things matter to people because people can see through the BS. People can see, the slimy, shiny shit that's like in the YouTube world. I'm not talking about in the free Karen Reid world, but channels, creators. You're not here for a buck. Like you don't even have super.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't, like you didn't have memberships. Like it's really obvious that you're doing it for no reason that is related to money. Really obvious, and that's amazing.
Yeah. And that's easy to do, right?
Yeah. No, I go back to Miss Shorty about the consistency. I depended on Tom's footage when I came back from whatever I was doing in the morning, and I was going to put on the trial. There was Tom. Every single day, you started my day. And then people started streaming you when they had lunch breaks because they had nothing to talk about, or they were eating lunch themselves. They would use Tom's stream.
Absolutely. People relied on your content because you were the only one who had the temerity, the tenacity, and the just fortitude to get out there in the shit weather, in the hot weather, when there was 3 people and when there was 300 or 1,000 people, like that's how you, that's kudos to you.
So Tom goes back to when Karen Reid had nobody out there.
Yes.
Tom was there on the steps with maybe 5 or 10 people, and then it grew and it grew.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tom, you had something to do with that because people could see it.
Well, yeah, because there was nothing there. It was just, it's a good time there. You meet a lot of nice people.
So when you go to the 5 people, 10 people that were there, and then Aiden gets involved, obviously his channel's helping, but you brought a different, he was on Tuesdays and Saturdays. You brought it every day.
Yeah. Well,
and people just turn the TV on, whatever commercial breaks happen or lunchtime breaks, there you are for an hour,
People,
then, right?
People and it was also honestly, this has been obviously I'm on the other side of the planet, but people have got so much invested in this whole thing, and it's been quite a traumatic time. Obviously, I'm not comparing myself to the Reid family, to Karen, to the O'Keefe family, but this whole thing has been quite distressing for everybody. So to have and there was a lot of things you couldn't rely on. You couldn't rely on the evidence being brought by the Commonwealth to be genuine. You couldn't rely on the witnesses to tell the truth. You couldn't rely on Auntie Bev to do the right thing, to be fair and balanced and unbiased. But we could rely on you, Tommy, to be there every day, doing your thing every day. I can't stress enough how important that is to people in this Free Karen Reid movement and world, that you have been, you guys, and your coverage and your being there has been probably one of the few consistencies throughout.
Well, I don't know what to say. It's just.
Are your tires so full now? Tommy, can we stop pumping? No, I'm joking.
Yeah. Let's talk about the police officer that got on the stand and said her taillight was just cracked.
Barrows.
Not destroyed. It was cracked.
Barrows.
Yes.
Did you catch the video we played earlier, Shorty?
Oh, I don't think I did because I was in a little bit of mild panic. But I'm like, where are they? Where's the channel seeking justice? I just looked up.
Sorry. But
No.
Tom played the video of Barrows on the stand, and you can
Yes.
just tell by his body language, his motions.
Oh, I remember it clearly. Yeah.
And we were just talking about how leadership has an impact on younger people. And just like he mentioned that he had a trainee in his car with him that day, and just to do the right thing, and to tell the truth, and you just pass that on to the next generation of officers that are coming up, and at that point, you're starting something positive within that department, and that young man is going to tell another young man that's going to want to work with Sergeant Barrows, that's going to want to be a part of that and try to change things that are bad inside the police department. And that's like self-policing themselves. Obviously, Sergeant Barrows has an unbelievable moral compass. He had a great family that raised him somehow, somewhere. And, kudos to that whole department, and especially Mr. Barrows, because he demolished their timeline.
Yes.
He was one of the most underrated witnesses, I thought.
Absolutely.
Jinx. It's a bit sad though that someone in a position of power and authority and government backing is that he was the exception, not the rule, to testifying as far as truth and transparency and honesty and just stating facts rather than fiction.
I mean, how easy it would have been for him just to go along with it, right?
Oh,
yeah. What do you guys need? Yeah, no problem. Yeah, no problem. I never saw anything. I thought it was cracked. Yeah, I was shattered. That's all he could have said, right? And he could
just like that.
Yep.
Pushing it hard, yeah. He would have known what he was up against, I'm sure.
And tell the truth can be uncomfortable, and with a department that or process that's not perfect, and you're trying to tell the right things, and it might not fit the narrative of anybody else, but it's the truth.
Yep. I was really impressed. And the thing that bothers me though is they came to scoop the car. They didn't even know if the car was damaged. What if the Lexus wasn't broke? What if the taillight wasn't broken in the car, and they're still going to take it because they came to take the car without even looking at it?
Jen McCabe told them it was cracked. But again, went to our earlier conversation. Yuri had as a domestic, but on the ride down, they changed over, and when they made the phone call to Barrows or Dighton, we're coming to get a murder weapon. It's a murder. Or hit and run, whatever you want to call it. So
that was at 3:00. At 10:00, it was a domestic. At 3:00, it was a hit and run.
Yeah. Without seeing the car.
How?
Corruption.
The only thing that they had that friends and family meeting in the middle, didn't they?
Yeah. That's when I hit him.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Lanka, come back. Come back. We remembered something else. Come back.
That was at 9. And when did they have the friends and family meeting? Before they went and scooped the car?
Yeah.
So they went and got all the people's what?
Yeah, they had a meeting at Jen McCabe's house. Brian Albert, Matt McCabe, Jen McCabe.
Before they went and got the car.
Correct.
To make sure all the stories matched.
Correct.
Huh. And they didn't call. Yeah, look at this. They didn't call and get a warrant for the car.
Nope. They haven't even seen the car yet. The only one that saw the car.
And they called for a tow truck. So there was a tow truck heading there before they got there.
That's correct.
Why would they do that, Miss Shorty? Why would they go and scoop a car they didn't even look at?
I mean, tunnel vision, confirmation bias, absolute out and out corruption. I mean, there's the spectrum there, but I think we'll probably go with the last one.
Yeah, we watched the Microdots video, A Tale of Two Searches, and
Oh yeah, that one. Yep.
it just brings back so much. Like, you forget about like.
Sorry, my dog's just run. Stop. They're like, yeah, party time. Let's fight right here. Sorry, keep going. The Tale of Two Searches, Microdots.
Yeah, so that if you go back and that came out, I don't know how long ago, but it's a couple of months old, but it just brings back 5 different things that happened before the car was even towed. Okay, that have reasonable doubt or you want to question without the Ford Edge, lucky not seeing a body, the taillight pieces showing up later, the unsecured crime scene. That is huge because everything now is contaminated. So I go back to that straw, Tom, I talked about the other day.
The black straw that was about this big and
right
after a foot and a half of snow. And how many snow plows? No, I can't. No.
And a snow blower, a leaf
Right.
blower.
Right. So you're gonna tell me that straw came from that glass and you're 100% sure? Prove it to me. We had the crime scene unguarded for 5 to 6 hours. Well, game over.
How does the glass travel with him and his phone?
Oh, you mean when he got hit? Allegedly got hit?
Which one is in which hand? Because listen, the phone would have gotten damaged, right?
It just did.
Oh, that's right. Stuff. It was stuff. So he had a drink in a hand and a phone, and they both ended up under him. And he got hit, broken arm got busted up. Remember?
No bruising on the arm, just that bitey tail light. But he held the grip.
Kept it, right? He kept this. How come he didn't have any cuts in his palm of his hand? Because if I break this glass, my palm will get cut. No, am I wrong? Anybody?
No, you're right. I mean, there's a lot of ways the glass could have flown out of his hand. I guess I don't know.
No, because when there's any impact or you're falling, it's a bit like Colin Albert and his landing on his knuckles.
The knuckle land.
That's human. It's a response. It's not a thought process thing. Those things just happen when you're like in shock. There's just physically no way that he would have held on to those things.
There's no way. Especially if your arms are getting flailing and hit and you're doing pirouettes in the middle of the street, right? How do they land underneath you? They can't
Okay. Answer this one, Tom. How does the glass on the back of the bumper not match the glass that was found at the scene? 2 different types of glasses.
It's the Canton Triangle.
That's what blew me away. So the glass they found on the bumper was not consistent with the glass that was found at the scene. We can keep going. I mean, there's so much reasonable doubt. There's so much corruption, so much framing going on here. It makes me puke.
Miss Shorty, did you see that little video clip I played of the jury down the Cape about this lady that was murdered a long time ago?
She just woke up.
I literally went to bed at it was 7:30. So that's 5:30 your time. Yes. And then I thought I'll just wake up in an hour. I'll wake up by 9 my time. And then my alarm was going off and I was very tired. And I remember snoozing. And then I woke up and went,
oops.
At 9 minutes before showtime. There was some panic, but here I am. So I haven't seen things. I'm sorry.
Okay. So down the Cape, there was a murder. The jury was hung. They wouldn't.
What's the name of the?
Christina Worthington, was it?
Okay, no, I'm not. Yes, carry on.
So she was having a relation with the guy that was picking up trash. Relations. They were fooling around with each other. She ends up murdered. And they did the DNA and it came back to this guy. And he's just a very simple guy. The jury was deadlocked. What do you think they did?
Poll the jury. Check to see what they were deadlocked on.
No, they kicked the juror out, replaced them,
Oh.
and then he was immediately found guilty. There was
Wow.
one holding out. So
Because the police. Here's the thing too.
What's wrong with you guys in Massachusetts? What's bloody going on there? Because
a lot.
I
They
think just one
replaced the
thing-
juror because the juror said no. That's the reason for the jury.
Like,
they kicked the juror out, replaced it, guilty.
And a trooper stood up with no video and no videotaped confession and just said, "This is what I heard him say. That I'm sorry that she is dead or she was murdered."
Yeah.
And those were the words that were used to convict him out of a state trooper's mouth. Nothing else. No timeline, no motive, nothing.
No cuts on him, no nothing like that. Like no bruising.
And they were sexually involved. They were sexually involved. That was it. They had his DNA inside of her, and that was it.
Because
and then came down to the trooper's words, saying, "This is what he told me." And he's a simpleton. He's not an educated person by any stretch. Didn't have the resources. Didn't have the means. And here he is. He got bamboozled right into jail. So yeah.
So we have yet another issue like Karen Reed happening down the Cape.
I mean, people who I've spoken a lot to Massachusetts residents who are feeling very defeatist about there being any real statewide change in terms of all of that stuff, that it's so deeply ingrained that how can it ever change? And I've been really, like, it's easy for me to say from the other side of the planet, like, come on now, like, let's try and manifest this shit and all of this evidence. The light being shone on all this stuff from people like you and bringing it to light and keeping it in the light, that puts the powers that be their feet to the fire on this stuff. And it's the only way. So to say it's just the way it is, Massachusetts is corrupt, it's always been this way, it's getting worse, it's too hard, to say that is not how change is affected. So to continue being loud and bright in those dark corners of what's going on up there is the only way. And it's like, I can imagine it's exhausting for everybody and terrifying and frustrating, but you just have to keep going on, because that's how big change comes, is to be the voices and to keep screaming from the rooftops that this is not okay, this is not how it's done. And it's just wild to me that the rest of the country, of course there's corruption everywhere, but on another channel I was watching, and they were saying, like, where in the state they live, this shit just would not fly. It's wild that in Massachusetts it seems to be so insular, and perhaps it's that original third landing on the continent thing, that, and it's just been there from the get. But at the same time, didn't you guys have all of the people doing the First Amendment and stuff up there? Like, so it's weird that there's such a disconnect between the vision of your founding fathers and where Massachusetts is now.
That's why it's so unbelievable. Here we have the founding fathers, John Quincy Adams, he was a lawyer for the Brits, the Britons that shot and killed some people in Massachusetts. He defended them, even though he's a colonist. And that just shows you he just believed in the truth, right? I'm just going to represent you and just have to be the truth. I mean, nothing really came of it to get sent back to England, but it's just weird that it's happening in this area, Quincy, Plymouth, all these areas that were settled and colonized by, for freedom.
Yeah.
Right? And here we are fighting for it. Just weird. So maybe it needs people like us to start something like this, to keep it in the light, to keep talking about it, bringing back old facts and videos, and just so people don't forget, right? Because we forget more than we know. Because I learned, when you play a video, Tom, when we play a video, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. I remember that, right? I remember that. So it's just, it makes a difference to me anyways, personally. So yeah. And like having content creators from around the world jumping in and talking to us, that means something to them. and hopefully their passion and their channel brings it to their circle.
Oh,
Right?
congratulations on 5,000 subscribers.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm kind of creeping up towards 5.5 now.
Isn't it great? You're just gonna keep going. Congratulations. I know it's hard.
How long
Been
did you
there.
start? How long have you been doing it?
I started the channel in January.
Wow.
That's good.
So
Nice.
it took me about 6 months to get to. It was the start of July when I got to 4,000, and then I got to took me like 4 weeks to get. Oh no, not July, August. What is it now? Where are we? I'm still asleep. Basically, 6 months to get to 4,000, and then a month to get to almost 5,000. And then in 2 days, I'm halfway to 6,000. So exponential.
You're on fire.
That's
You're on
good
fire.
to see. I like that.
Yeah, you did some great. You're on Dr. Turtle Boy, and then you did your own show last night about homelessness.
Yeah. So I've got like my channel was always like true crime and trial watching is my personal sort of special interest, and it's what I do 24/7. But my channel vision wasn't so much about that, and doing the Karen Reed content was actually kind of a byproduct of getting excuse me, the rest of my channel up and running. So my Let's Talk series, which is about opening conversations about really important topics like homelessness, addiction, domestic violence, trauma, all these things, grief, things that people find hard to talk about and to feel safe to talk about, and that generally I feel that from what I can see, content creators tend to shy away because it's not where you get the big numbers of it, like obviously, but there's such important conversations, and I have a lot of life experience with all of those things and more. Like you can't make this stuff up. So I built my channel on true crime just by while I was getting myself ready for presenting myself raw and uncut on my that series. And then because I was friends with Paul Christopher, and I just thought, oh well, I'll ask him if he wants to come on. Just why not? I know Paul, I may as well. And so I did, and he said yes. And so from there, that was only 4 weeks ago, and I've just since then each week added had another guest on, free Karen Reed guest, or a couple of guests. So I'm pretty proud of myself that from 4 weeks where I just went, I may as well do a Karen Reed thing. I don't want to look like I'm trying to jump on that train, because I genuinely, that wasn't what I was. Although my Twitter presence is very vocally free Karen Reed, and my personal life in terms of what I'm passionate about was, my channel vision wasn't that. So to go from sort of going, well, I may as well ask Paul Christopher to come on, and he said yes, to 4 weeks later having Dr. Turtle Boy on my channel, wow. I'm proud of the moment.
This is probably the right direction, maybe, huh?
Both, because that's my passion, my channel, my baby is to start those difficult conversations. It's fun to do the other stuff, and the numbers, the analytics, for now at least, are going to be in this stuff, and I that's a reality. You can't do it without not necessarily financially, but it's hard to keep going if there's 12 people in the chat and a few hundred views.
Right.
It shouldn't matter, but it does matter in terms, it's human nature to want
to succeed, right? To want to get that out, right?
Yes.
Right.
So, and also, and because I have made an amazing network of friends and people I know, and just by being me in chats and on Twitter, that genuine authenticity of me being me on those platforms, in all of those arenas, consistency, and there's that consistency again, is paying off now, for want of a better term, because that's just me, and I know I know the people, and the people know me, and I talk all right, I talk a bit. So
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you think the Karen Reed thing is a trauma bonding thing for a lot of us? Because you brought trauma up. Most people don't follow trials, and when they follow the Karen Reed trial, they're getting the horrific details of what happened, and it is horrific. And some of these people didn't know some of the things that they now know, and it's changed them in a way. For whether it's for John or for Karen, this has changed people. Is this a trauma issue that we're all going through at the same time? Like, we are going through it with her, but in our own way, and we're sharing it with each other.
I think yes and no. I guess for the people who haven't really been true crimey, trial watchy kind of people, it's very eye-opening, confronting, concerning to see, like it's jumping in the deep end with what could go wrong for a citizen and the justice system and all of the above. It's horrifying. So I guess maybe it's kind of a bit not train wrecky, but like it's like woo, jump like this. I can't, like, it's compelling and concerning, and it is good, like, not to diminish the reality for the people directly involved, like Karen and her family and Officer John O'Keefe and his family, but it is good viewing. Like it's there's twists and turns, like you literally cannot make this stuff up. And to the, I don't know about you guys, but there's many times when I go like, we aren't in reality. This is proof. Like, here we are. This is not, Lily. This can't be reality because this is way too wild. As far as true crime, like in a bigger picture, I know that for me, I take a lot of, I've always been interested in true crime person all my life. Since I'm a child, I used to, like, at the age of 8, was reading biographies on Jack the Ripper and stuff, like, sicko. But so for me, the trauma thing, I know that I take a lot of solace in watching, not the gruesome, horrific details. I don't want to know that. And maybe I did at some point in my trajectory through true crime genre, but now it's mostly just about taking my mind off the stuff that maybe I'd be ruminating on in my past. Although I'm kind of past that now. But yeah.
What do you think, Mike?
Well, I think it's great. I mean, anything that you can bring to light and share with people from experiences and make it positive, always, right? That's why I guess I came on. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, but yeah, I can talk. Talk about, because I knew John. I one of the witnesses lives down the end of my road, Mike Camarino. I live in Canton. I go out in Canton, and it's just interesting in Canton now that it's a town that's divided. It's a town that's divided. It's crazy. It's like you go into I go into Starbucks. I have to scan the room to see who's there and who might not be there. It's just weird. I've never had to do that before, right? Like, I saw Peggy O'Keefe and Shaw's last week. We just walked by each other with our heads down. It's just different. It's just.
I think also, Tommy and Mike, like, people, human nature likes binary. Black or white, good or evil, wrong or right. So this is a perfect example of that. Like, you couldn't get further apart in, one side to the other, and even for us on the outside looking in, the blue and the pink, the antis and the pros. Like, it's honestly, it's the quintessential good and evil pull since time began in the universe. It's the yin and the yang. It's honestly, it's not surprising that everybody's so captivated by it.
It's crazy, especially in Canton. It's definitely, people say it hasn't divided the town. It has. It totally has.
How can it not? It's so deep, Mike. I mean, this is so deep.
Well, it comes down to the police department and the fire department. Like, literally, I don't know if I could call Canton police. If something happened at my house, and I like Rita did, like, she sent her stuff, the balloons, off to someplace else, and I'm like, why would she do that? Then I'm like, I don't blame her, because you don't hear from the chief. We haven't heard from her like a year, right? We don't know where she is. She says all these things in 2023 and just goes off the grid. So there's no leadership as far as I can see, right? And there's no one teaching these young guys how to do the right thing. There's no accountability. We're getting an audit that they've watered down for a year now. So there's so many moving pieces that we can't really make a decision, an informed decision of like how we really feel. We can just go by what we saw in this trial, in the testimony that the officers gave and the firefighters gave, which was not corroborated. It was false. Some of the things they said. They go back to the firefighter that said John had a puffy jacket on.
Yes.
So that bothers me. Like,
the Furrows guy. Furrows. That
yeah,
guy.
he actually was. Yeah, Nuttall. I think Nuttall. Timothy Nuttall. He said we cut a puffy jacket off of him. No one else said that, right? So what happened there, right?
I think that's implanted memory, like memories that can kind of just. There's been a lot of studies to show that just like things morph in your mind. You kind of forget things, and if a little bit of suggestion and the stress of being on the stand, and I mean maybe knowing that you might be doing a little bit of lying, might have sort of corrupted what came out of his mouth a little bit, because he was positive, wasn't he, about that puffer jacket?
He was, and why wasn't he talked to in their pregame, so to speak, before he went on the stand? So let's go over your testimony. Well, I saw a puppy jacket. What? There was no one else ever said that. Why are we going to bring that up? Lally let him bring it up. I don't know. No one else said he had a puffy jacket, and no puffy jacket was put into evidence. I'm just saying. That just caught me right from there. I was like, okay, here we go. But I know how much they shovel the apron though every day of snow. I can tell you that.
The other thing was, remember, I think they did. I mean, didn't Kerry Roberts? They got things out of her boot to put on her car to put on John to warm him up a bit. One of those things may well have been a puffer jacket, so they may well have been pulling that off, but not physically pulling that off. And as I think it was Melanie Little in her chat perhaps mentioned that if you cut through a puffer jacket, all the down's going to go everywhere. So it would have been spectacular.
Oh, yeah.
And very memorable had there actually been one on his body.
Especially with blood, right?
And he never had one on at any of the bars he was at. So where'd it come from?
Listen, it looked like his clothes were washed to me.
Yes. Oh my God. The trolls were saying when I said that, like absolutely laundered. People were like, oh no, obviously he was in the snow. Snow's wet. I'm like, I'm sorry, but have you ever? You obviously don't do the laundry in your family, because if you get blood on fabric garments, particularly that kind of color fabric, if you let it dry even just a little bit, and it starts to dry, and then you launder that garment without any scrubbing or spray removal stuff beforehand or soaking, what comes out is that look of how the shirt and the jeans looked in there. They had plenty of time to be doing that washing, and his socks were on inside out and on the wrong feet as well. And to me, the lying in the snow, just dusting of snow for most of the time, and from what we understand, it wasn't like he was lying in dripping wet, sludgy, sleety snow for hours on end. That then and for all that, the garments were washed, in my opinion.
I'm glad you saw that, because that's what it looked like to me right when I saw it. There's no way. There's no way. You would see it much darker, and it would be crusty. It would be textury. No, it was fabric. It was clean.
He wasn't lying in a puddle face down for all of that for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of wet snow for all that to soak out and away. That was not scrubbed, but just washed to get rid of any
hair
and
any dog hair.
But then the jeans, wasn't it the jeans that had 2 or 3 contributors and the shoes had 5?
After a while,
I made more of a deal about that. Like, God, I know that they had I don't know. I feel like the defense team were amazing. They were amazing, but I mean, Monday morning quarterbacking, it's easy to do.
Yeah. And they only had an hour. Beverly handicapped them with each only had an hour.
But even in test of
and cross, yeah. I agree with that.
I have another question.
Yeah.
All right.
I hear you're doing a standout over there.
Yes.
What do you need from us? What can we do to help you guys?
I guess in your chats, in your live streams to rally any Melbourne people, or near Melbourne people. I'd love to have a volume of people. It's still 2 weeks away, so it's Sunday the 1st of September, our time 10 a.m. So your time will be Saturday night, 8 p.m. And I think we've decided on a meeting place, like, because hard to know. I don't know. I'm not good with maps, so. But I think we're going to probably meet on the steps of Flinders Street Station, which, if you know Melbourne, usually those that image of it's a beautiful old building, and it's on the corner of in the city of Melbourne, and there's steps and it's where the trams all come and go, trains. It's very high foot and car traffic. So I think we're going to meet there on Sunday the 1st of September at 10 a.m. and just love to have as many people as we can there. Lana, who's helping me sort of organize it, has made up an amazing double-sided flyer with pink, and then with kind of the salient facts of the whole thing, pictures, creators. Actually, I'll make sure she changes your channel to be this new channel because it was the CPU one.
Yeah.
And pictures of Karen to be able to give out to people. So I just like for there to be people there. I'm not sure whether we can get some media there. I'm going to be streaming it, but it'd be amazing to get some media to know, like, it's kind of a catchy thing on a Sunday night news when they have to fill a bit because there's not much going on in real news,
Right.
Australia, and to be able to get that sort of sent out to some legacy media somewhere. So I guess just you guys sort of talking about it, and I'll send you the confirmation of those details so that you can properly advertise it. That would be amazing, because I mean it won't have as much power if there's 4 of us. I mean, it's still going to be amazing.
It's going to be amazing. I know it will.
Yeah.
But if you live stream it, trust me, we'll be watching it.
Amazing.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's awesome.
And, I like that. I'm going to live stream it. I'm not just going to take pictures and come back and post them and talk about it. No, do it right there. Grab somebody that doesn't know about Karen Reed and see what they have to say. Right.
I'm going to be doing Vox Pops because I've got a journalism degree and in sound and radio production and presentation. So that's my thing. And back then when I was 19, it was very confronting, and I was like having to ask someone a question, but it was a random subject that I was given as an assignment, sort of thing. And I never pursued that as a career. But for me now, I'm pretty excited to go out there and ask the people and get some responses, because you never know. I mean, I can't remember. Was it JFK did I think it was JFK's got a song where he was out in at one of the big games, and that got an amazing happenstance grab from someone who was like, free Karen Reed, and something about Proctor, so or the Alberts. But really excited. We're starting to make our signs and things. I personally am going to replicate what you guys have made. I have a graphic design background as well, so I'm going to try to do maybe a microdots framed. I'm going to hopefully do the free Karen Reed with the black white. It's pretty exciting.
Oh, you mean for your border when you're live streaming?
No, I mean for
big sign.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right, well, listen. Go ahead.
How the postcard? I mean, how the bumper stickers going?
Well, they've all been posted out to. Well, all of the batches have been posted out to my helpers in the States, and they've all arrived in the States now, so that it'll be going to the individual addresses for people to help. I haven't been promoting it super much yet because I didn't want to really be pushing it until they were ready to go out for people.
Right.
So I hand wrote 200 thank you cards signing my name, which is actually not my name. My name is Lisa, but signing Miss Shorty. So that was a very interesting exercise, trying to get my hand to sign something that isn't my name. And it's actually, and people are feeling a bit suspicious about it. I just wanted to clarify that this is, I'm not touching any of the money. It's a donation directly to Karen's Defence Fund and providing that receipt to me or to one of the helpers, but mostly to me in a screenshot of that you did at least $10 donation and your postal address, and I'll send it out. And it's actually cost me a significant amount of money, my own money, to do this initiative.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
People don't realize it. I know.
Over $500. Like it's cost it'll cost me in total. So for anybody who's thinking, I don't know, this feels a bit, I don't know, like there's it's so transparent. It's something that I thought of and wanted to do my part. It was when the popcorn thing was all going ass up over there. And it's been a really exciting thing, and the outlay for me has been like, it's just money, easy come easy go. If it can raise $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 for Karen's Defence Fund. So I don't have them with me. Hang on one second, I'll just grab them. 1 second. My PJ pants on still.
Hey, did you see somebody do a $10,000 anonymous donation to Karen?
No, when?
It was last week. Whoever gave Karen the $10,000 anonymous donation, thank you so very much. Oh, that's badass. Look at that.
Yeah, that's cool.
I like that.
I can't see. Yeah, it's
yeah.
Good quality. The colors are pretty amazing. I was pretty excited that my design was translated into the printing. They replicated the colors pretty well, and like pink envelopes, pink thank you card, like limited edition, like my autograph. Like, so who knows? Like when I've got 2 million subscribers, you'll this.
You'll be famous soon.
So a $10 donation, $10+ donation directly to Karen's Defence Fund will get you 1 sticker. If you make a $50+ donation, you'll get 2 stickers. And if you make a $100+ donation, you get 3 stickers. It's 1 entry per person. Like, and since this has started, so not if you made a donation like 2 months ago, it's a second donation. And I know people don't make donations generally to anything to get something back. That's not the point. But this is like, it's a cool design. And after stickers are gone, I'm going to put the artwork out if anybody wants to, because people have asked me if they could make like a decal for their car, a big thing for their car, or bigger things. So I'm not like, I'll just give the artwork out after it's all done and once the stickers are done. So it's pretty exciting.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
What else? So something else. The standout I talked about that you're doing there. If there's anything you need to let us know. We can get that to you. We're gonna stream it live. What else can we do to help them out, Mike? Trying to think.
Just talk about it.
Talk about it. Yep. Okay,
And
we can definitely do that.
Yeah, this will be amazing because as much as my channel's growing and my social media platform, like visibility is growing, having you guys sort of spruik this and gives it legitimacy and authenticity, because maybe I'm just a ring-in, maybe I am just a clout chaser, and maybe I am just grifting, but you guys aren't. So
that's that Tuesday's show, isn't it? I don't remember. One of them.
That word grifting just makes me laugh. Like Mark Barrows, his comments on his ex. He's
awesome. I love him. He's so good.
My God.
Oh my God.
It's so funny. So funny.
The worst real estate lawyer in Massachusetts.
Yes. Yeah. So any closing thoughts, guys? You guys want to talk about? You gonna go to work, Miss Shorty?
I'm going to go back to bed, and then I'll be up in another 3 hours to get ready to go to work. So
we're going to close it out. If you want to sign off, it's up to you.
Yeah, I will. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so sorry I was late.
No, listen, anytime. Really.
No, don't worry about it.
Thanks, everybody. Love you.
Bye, sweetheart. Thank you.
Bye.
Enjoy the day.
Okay. All right. So yeah, just recap about we're on 7:00 tomorrow with Maza.
Yes.
Okay, Monday, right? It's gonna be a rainy day tomorrow. It looks like so. No golf, Tommy. You get that 30-day contract. That's right. You gotta be busy. Make sure you bring in backup batteries. Don't forget anything.
Yeah, no, I got that. I'll be working in a cement.
Are you places you can plug in?
It's a knock. Oh yeah, it's a knock.
Right.
It's a knock. Right, cool. It's all the computer stuff goes into one spot. So, All right, so we're gonna do our shows early. We're gonna start them a little earlier in the mornings, everybody. So you all know. We got Mazza coming up. Can't wait for that. Please like and subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get the numbers up. Donate, Cash App, Venmo. My mods. Thank you, my mods, again, for Nikki, for everything, because you guys are you're the reason we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for all the stuff you do offline too that no one else sees. Tom and I really appreciate it. I know I do. You know, the text messages,
Everything.
Everything. Those little things mean a lot to me because we're all informed. We can make better decisions as a team.
Yep.
You know, so like the producer said, they can't wait to work with Team CPU.
Yeah.
It's a team, right?
That was the happiest thing. That made everything worthwhile. That one last line was just, that makes that, I don't care about anything else. As long as they want they know my mods, that giddy up.
Yeah, Tom was all about the mods. I'm telling you right now, there's much respect and much love there.
I kept saying, Mike, you're gonna love the girls. You're gonna love these girls. You're gonna love them. I'm telling you, you're gonna love them. They don't fight. They're great. They're funny. They're smart. Wow, you're gonna love them.
And I do.
There you go.
Yeah.
No.
You know, I don't know. You walk into a situation and you talk about mod. I don't see. I've never done YouTube, so I don't know what a mod is, right? But as you go through it, you realize what they do, how they set things up, who they contact, who they communicate with. You know, they fix the bugs, they fix the video. It's just crazy. And so, thank you. Oh yeah. Again, just to recap, Tom's going to be a Hollywood star.
I want to bring Miss Shorty with me. If I get invited to the red carpet, I'm bringing her with me. She's my date for that night.
You gonna fly her up from Australia?
Sure, absolutely.
Do you want me to negotiate out the contract?
You can do that.
All right. You want
round trip ticket from Australia here, so she can come to that red carpet opening.
Wow, would that be unbelievable? Bring the true kangaroo up here.
Yeah,
bring her up here.
I'll do that. I get one on both sides.
All right,
definitely.
We'll send a private jet down to grab them.
Have your people call my people and set it up. We'll be good.
I feel like I'm in an episode of Entourage right now. This is like Entourage. You know, I'm like Turtle. I'm the guy that sets everything up for you. All right, you son of a bitch. Yeah, this is great. I don't mind. This is great. One way. Look at the Shorty.
Yeah,
like one way.
She's ready to rock. Don't come to Massachusetts, unfortunately. Oh my God. Don't ever go to Canton.
Any questions out there? Anybody got a queue? You want to send it over real quick? Oh man, this is crazy.
I'm okay with that.
Oh man, yeah, you definitely. We're gonna have her on the show.
Yeah, no, I talked. Yeah. Listen, yeah, we'll take care of that.
So she's one of the mods get in contact with her people and have her contact our people, whatever how it works, and
yeah, they do it, make it work.
I watched her. I watched her with Eden the other night, and that was a good show. That was Friday night. It was a good show. Go back and watch that one. You got some. They were real people. You know, like they're real people. They care about what's going on up here. Like I don't know if I care about what's going on in Australia. No, I don't know. Honestly, to be honest with you, I don't know if I care about a person in Australia the way they care about what's going on up here. Just is mind-boggling to me.
It's the situation that they're in, like that they see that Karen's in. They see the situation itself and they relate to it. And I think if this happened in Australia, we'd probably just be, if we were true crime people, we'd be in on that. That's why we're getting the true crime people from Australia, because they see it for what it is. It's just wrong. I mean, Kim said that she does a lot of true crime and she's never seen anything like this. And she's watched all the trials and there's nothing like this Karen retrial. It's that out there, dude.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
The whole world knows it now.
The whole world knows it. And now we're all coming together again. You know how you say that you look at your friends and stuff. The water seeks its own level.
Right. Look at this crime. Look at this crime that took place down the Cape. Right. This poor man is in jail for a crime he didn't commit. Right. And here we are talking about it. What you would be? I followed a missing toddler case there about 2 years ago. Oh, down in Australia. Okay.
Yeah.
But like, so if we keep talking about that case, for instance, right? maybe we get more people to think about, maybe more people know what's going on about that. So it's just interesting that like the power of your voice and your vote mean a lot.
Mike, the fact that we have a jury down the Cape that's deadlocked, okay? You have a trooper on the stand, a Massachusetts state trooper on the stand telling the jury, this guy told me he did it.
And that's all you have.
And the jury's deadlocked, so they take the person who doesn't agree with them, they kick him off the jury and replace him, and they immediately found guilty. Done.
Yep.
State police, Massachusetts. So this happened down the Cape. So it's the second time. Again, that happened. Karen happened. Justin Root happened. Sandra Birchmore happened. Casey happened. The Ponkapaw girl happened.
Yeah, the punk. We'll get into that later.
You have all this death, right? In your Canton Police Department can't investigate it because they don't do deaths. State police does it. Why are you paying them so much money? What are they investigating? Because they ain't doing murders. What are they investigating?
I don't know. Duckies, rubber duckies.
No, the state police got that. What are they investigating? Why are you paying them $300,000 a year? What are they doing, Mike?
Oh my God! Don't Gallagher. Don't get me going with Gallagher.
Styling. It was the lady down the. It was the
Worthington.
Christina Worthington. The guy they accused he just did trash. He had a low IQ. His IQ was 70, which is low. And they went and he was having an affair with the girl because his DNA was already in the house. She ended up dead, the lady, and they found his DNA. They blamed him, and he didn't do it, he said. And the state police got on the stand and said, this guy told me he did it. And then they had a hung jury, and instead of doing the trial again, they just kicked the juror off and replaced it. And then they had a guilty verdict. And that was what they wanted.
It was crazy. Go back and watch on 48 hours.
Yep.
Yeah, if you just put in Worthington in 48 hours, it'll pop right up. It happened about 12-15 years ago.
It's on 48 hours. It's a rainy day today or whatever. Watch that movie. Watch it. It's only it's 45 minutes.
To be fair, everybody out there too, if you get a chance, watch Brian LTL's show with special guest Todd McGee.
Great.
Retired state trooper that's in the consulting business now, and he shows you through a lens of a law enforcement and how things, processes, and procedures need to happen. And he starts from the crime scene, we'll call it, and he picks up 4 things off the rip. He said one thing that blew my mind. He says, if I was there, I would have kicked that 34 Fairview door down. I would have been in that house, without a doubt. Now this guy did 24 years with the state police. Now he's got a consulting company that does consulting around the world. He's just not, and he lives here locally. And I'm not going to give where he lives, but he lives here locally in Massachusetts. And he's speaking out. He's not saying no to an interview, right? He did a PBS one in Rhode Island. He did one with Brian LTL. Good job, Brian. Good job, bro. And he asked some really good questions. And Todd was taking questions from the chat.
He had no problem answering them. I love that about him.
Yeah, so that spoke volumes to me. What type of person that guy is, right?
Yep.
And just give it a watch because it was so worth it. I took a lot away from that one.
Yep, definitely, bro. So, guys, here's your homework for today. You got to watch Brian from LTL and Todd, and watch the 48 hours murder down the Cape on 48 hours.
Yeah. Christine Worthington. She was actually a writer.
Yep. Watch the whole thing on 48 hours. It'll show you about the trooper testifying, and it'll tell you about the jury, and there's a lot more that I'm sure we don't even know yet.
And a big congratulations to Tom and his mods about the hold on.
Yeah, there we go.
Big shout out to the mods and the production company that they're going to be doing business with. Very proud of you guys. Very proud of you guys, man.
Thanks, humble, that means a lot, man. It does. Coming from you means a lot. Email. What's up, Shell?
You gotta send me that email.
Yes.
please send me that email. I've been asking for 3 days.
Got it. Yeah.
So
I
Shelby,
had to go and message. I had messaged Mike on X, and I was like, "What's going on?"
I know. Please don't divulge any of the
Yeah.
details.
I will not.
Yeah.
I will
No.
not.
But
But
yeah,
you know me better than that. I can keep it
I
off.
know, but you can start passing it around to your friends in the mod world out there that it's a done deal, So
Oh, you know I will. The girls want.
All right.
We're just curious. We want to know what's going on. We're nosy.
oh, I gave you an insight. I gave you an insight of what it was per second, right?
Yes, you did.
All right.
Shelby, Outlook at Outlook.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Oh, Scott's doing a standout.
Yeah, there's one at Dedham Place today, Legacy Place.
Legacy Place.
Yep. Oh, there's one in Auburn, Mass. So
Yeah,
Karen
that's
Reed.
on Bancroft
Good.
Street on the overpass, like it always is.
All right,
There
so
you go.
I want does Paul have it on KarenReedStandouts.com? That's what we need to find out,
I'm
right?
pretty sure he does. Hold on.
All right.
Yeah, that's the website, everyone. Karen Reed, it's KarenReedStandout.com. Is that what that is?
I'm gonna post the link right now.
Yep.
And then I heard there's one in Plymouth and there's one at Legacy Place today.
Yes.
In fact, the one at Legacy Place already started, I believe. So, and there's a softball game going on down the end of my road today.
Yeah, I was gonna go look at people play softball. I hear it's like pretty good. Like this, it's like there's a softball. I want to watch a game. Like I don't want to go into Boston though.
Yeah, so you might see an impromptu live happen.
I'm okay
Who
with
knows?
that. Just let me
Who
know.
knows?
Let me know ahead of time so I can get it all set up.
Yeah, just everybody in the chat, heads up. There may be you guys may get a chance to watch a softball game today.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know, right?
Live action, right?
Yeah, you never know. We'll see what happens. All
right, I'm gonna sign out, and it was awesome. And Tom, I'll see you Monday night at 7-ish
with Mazda Media. Loving it.
And then we're back on Tuesday morning at 7.
Yes, sir.
All right, seeking justice, and congratulations, you guys. I'll talk to you later.
Enjoy, my friend. All right, Miss Shelby, you want to say anything to the chat before we bail?
Other than tomorrow night with Mazda, no, I don't have anything planned for the week.
Okay.
Well, I know once I'm talking to some people right now to get some more people on. If you guys haven't subbed, please sub up. We're trying to get to 1,000 subs so we can get this, paid, and then go from there. So
we'll get there. So, but listen, thank you everybody for being here, and thank you everyone. I mean, we had some great guests. We always do, always. I hope everyone stays safe, everyone stays healthy, and we may be on later on today if I go to the softball game. If not, we will definitely see you Monday night with Mazza. So, everyone, thank you so much for watching and subscribing, hitting that like button. Love it all. All right, guys. Everyone have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Oh, time out before I go. Wait a minute. Before we go, my phone, I usually put it on sound, but it's been on silent lately. And my friend who I talked to, who's a flyboy, I get videos of airplane stuff. I want him to know that I try and call him and it doesn't go back through. So I'm getting the missed calls, but I'm missing the call. Unfortunately, I'm not doing it on purpose. I swear to God. I would like to talk to you again. And I'm trying to get in touch with you. So if you're watching, give me a ring later on because I'm turning my phone sound on. So now when you call, I'll hear it. So I want you to know that didn't do it on purpose. And I'm really trying to talk to you soon. Email cputom@gmail or cputommods@gmail. Yeah, I love the Flyboys. They're pretty smart guys. A friend of mine who I talk to a lot. I'm trying to get in touch with him. His son flies military airplanes. I'm not telling you what kind, but pretty badass friggin' airplane. And I may get to go watch him fly. Maybe. We'll see.
Tommy.
Yes, Shelby.
We're also planning a mod takeover.
Okay.
To be determined. Amy and I
Soon.
are working on it, so it'll be soon. One
Yep.
Saturday night coming up before TV goes on.
Shelby,
Yes.
is it possible to make like a thumbnail that has the Australia standout on it, so we can kind of just put it on my YouTube while it's not like in between days, so we can almost like
Yes.
advertise for Miss Shorty and stuff. So when people come or they see the channel, they'll at least know. I just want to get it out in front of people's faces.
Absolutely. Miss Shorty, send me whatever you got so I can throw that up.
Or something. We'll even make something or however. Just I want to put it up on my YouTube for them so that it's up there when I'm not, in like the days I'm not using my YouTube. I want to put that up as a thumbnail for them.
That's fine.
Yeah.
We can do that. We can figure.
Awesome.
Yeah, we can post it in the community section, and then I will.
Yeah.
I'll make something, or even if Miss Shorty already has something made, I'll throw it up there.
Yeah. But we got time. But you see my thought, right? What I want to try and do.
Yeah, I see. I see all the
the
cogs working in your brain.
What little left we got? All right. So I talked about that. Yeah, I think we're good. You got anything else, Miss Shelby?
Nope. Just make sure you guys sub up. Share this because this is where coffee time is going to be coming. We're going to be doing it here now, and then going forward. So share this, and Scott, if you are still listening, once I go through some of the footage that we have going on, and I know what the production company wants, then I can I'll post up the stuff from Morrissey's standout the other day.
I just can't. I can't. I can't show that. I can't show that until it's spoken for. We'll say.
I know. Once we figure out what's going on, that's why everything is privated. So right now it's just a wait and see.
Sorry about
We'll
that,
get
people.
it back up. It will get back up as soon as everything will go back up.
Yep. Awesome. And the people I have in my life help me with this. I'm just so blessed to have these people, including you guys. Again, I don't know how I ended up here. I'm the luckiest person in the world to be in this position that you guys all put me in. You guys just rock. I love yous. That easy.
Love you too, Tommy. We wouldn't be here if we didn't.
I know. All right, Miss Shelby. You all have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you all. Be safe.